Welcome to Healing Wisdom, a Thursday morning talk show featuring guests sharing their stories and knowledge. We discuss the healing aspects of the arts, metaphysics, social justice, and adventure through all types of terrain. So join me, Pandora Peoples, here on WOMR 92.1 FM in Provincetown and WFMR 91.3 FM in Orleans. We're streaming worldwide at WOMR.org. My next guest is Monica Rizzio, Washashore Cowgirl, outlaw country folk singer-songwriter who grew up in the Bible Belt of East Texas and has developed a taste for old guitars and smooth tequila. She's the founder of Vinegrass Music, owner of Washashore Music, and she'll be performing at the Atwood Museum on July 11th alongside Tom Haggerty and some of her musical pals. It's part of the Atwood Museum's Summer Music Series. Monica's concert is outside, as is the Evening of Jazz on July 18th. You can get tickets at atwoodmuseum.org.
Sunshine is free, music is too. You can head to the country where the skies are blue. Build a fire on a beach, it don't cost no money if your pockets are empty. Sunshine is free.
Describing my musical style, I would say I'm a little bit of bluegrass, Americana, a little folky, kind of just like a salty Americana is what I like to call it. Yeah, memories of listening to country and bluegrass with my dad was quite the experience. You know, as a child, I grew up in a very non-traditional family in the sense of, you know, there were no bedtimes. It was just very, you know, growing up on a ranch in East Texas, and we used to stay up all night and listen to Ricky Skaggs' Live from London album. And I remember as a kid, you know, I had my own horse. All of my siblings had their horses. My parents had their horses, and my parents built a corral, and we would throw these parties at nighttime where we would just put on all these bluegrass records and country records, you know, anything from like Willie Nelson, Redheaded Stranger, to Merle Haggard, to Ricky Skaggs. And we would just all be riding horses and listening to music. And it could be like 11 o'clock at night. It was just such an incredible way to grow up. It felt very free being, you know, in the country and not really growing up with any television. We had like one channel. So music was really the entertainment for me, you know, to say the least. Wow. Does Cape Cod have anything equivalent to a rodeo? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I guess the old timers, right? Would that be kind of like an equivalent of like, I don't know. I used to barrel race as a kid. So, you know, I fell off many times. Oh, the connection between football games and music. Well, growing up in Texas, it's like, you know, going to church and the football games are kind of like a religion all in one. It's kind of weird, but every Friday night there's football games, you know. And the cool thing that I think about growing up down in the South is that being in the band was kind of a cool thing to do. And I only say this just because, you know, I own Washashore Music and I teach, you know, many students from the time they're in fourth grade all the way till their senior years. And, you know, sometimes I get like a little bit like they're getting into their sophomore year and they quit music. And, you know, it's totally different down south because you pretty much start learning music in fourth grade and you continue on all the way through high school. Like being in the band is a huge thing. It's not like, you know, an uncool thing to do. You know, all the cheerleaders and football players, it's like, it's kind of like like I said, like a religion. It's kind of weird, but it was definitely an incredible way to go through, you know, middle school and high school and go to all the games. And, you know, I mean, I played flute in the band, but I also was in color guard and I was also, you know, a cheerleader. So that was all very foundational for me growing up with music. You know, it was every single day we had band. Every day we had music. So it's pretty cool.
keep up at the expense of the ones we love. This fast pace, it sure does faze me. And I feel a little guilty when I want to be lazy. Why is it so hard to do nothing? Why we gotta always be running? Go ahead, exhale and take a deep breath. Everyone could use a day of rest. Baby, ain't it something when you're doing nothing?
It really honestly wasn't until I moved to Nashville in 2000 that I really was introduced to songwriting. And, you know, down in Nashville, I mean, you go and play an open mic. If you play a cover song, they're going to, you know, turn your mic off. It's like, that's not what you do. Like, you only play out if you have your own songs to write. And so for me, it was really cool because I was in Nashville at a time where it was such a special community. I mean, you had songwriters like Mindy Smith, and you had songwriters like Hillary Lindsay, and and Hillary's like a huge, country singer. She's part of Lori McKenna's Love Junkies with Liz Rose. But it's like you had all of those people like just completely starting out songwriting. So as a young girl of my 20s, seeing these females like get up and write songs and perform, it was super inspiring. And being a Belmont at the time, I was able to hone in on taking classes and finding out how to do it a little bit better. But really it was all Nashville getting me inspired to become a songwriter. I became a Washashore Cowgirl because while I was in Nashville, I started playing out with this guy, and we started a little duo and whatnot. And after graduation, I was kind of just ready to come back to the East Coast. My whole family now resides in New York and Connecticut. And I just was kind of trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. So at the time, this guy came back as well. We started a band called Tripping Lily, and the whole band was on the Cape except for me. So I was, driving from New York on the weekends, and finally just Washashore and was, pretty involved with Tripping Lily for a little over a decade, actually. And we toured, and, we made a lot of records, and it was a special time for me in my early 20s to be able to tour and travel and write music with the band. It was really, really cool.
Here we are again, my old friend. Oh, sweetheart, there's only one of you, so be careful who you choose to take care of you. Oh, sweetheart, get me through the winter. That's all I'm asking. Don't make me bitter. Don't leave me in the dark. Oh, my sweetheart.
Vinegrass, it's my love child, I guess you can say. I started really a way for me to give back to all those people that helped me, be where I am today. I grew up in a family that we didn't have a lot of money. And I was that kid who couldn't afford music lessons and couldn't afford a piano or a fiddle or a guitar. But there was always somebody who would, we'd wake up in the morning, go to the mailbox, there'd be a check, that would pay for like a music camp for me. But hey, for Christmas, I want to buy you your own brand new Casio keyboard. There's always those people out there, and they were so encouraging. And, I really found out early in life, like at 10, really what I wanted to do. And I find that to be pretty special because I'm finding, as an educator and a performer and whatnot, that, people search far and wide to find out what their passion is, and I felt really lucky to have that so early on. And so that's really why I started Vinegrass. I wanted to be able to give back. I wanted to, create an organization where we were bringing live Americana music to Cape Cod, because at the time nobody was doing that. It was like, I remember being one of the first to start booking this little cafe in West Yarmouth, and I brought my friends like Abigail Washburn and old school Freight Train, and all of these bands that were just passing through. So it's really been eye-opening for me to hear the stories of these young kids who go off to study music in college, and email me or send me and say, Monica, thanks so much for like helping me out, because I don't think that I could have done it without Vinegrass's help. And that's one thing I'm really proud about for our nonprofit, is that we do a sustainable 4-year scholarship, and the more money we raise every year, the more that we're going to be able to give to those students, and also just being able to we've provided probably close to 80 or 90 ukuleles to the public schools on the Cape, and we've distributed teacher grants so that music teachers could buy things for their classrooms. It's really, I'm really proud of that, and since then, honestly, Pandora, like, so many new music festivals have popped up and organizations that are doing that. And I feel pretty proud that, Vinegrass was at the forefront of that, and that we're still going strong, and we're a small organization, but people have been really supportive, and I'm really excited to just see that grow even more. And, the future is going to be bright for that. So, thanks to all you listeners out there who, come every year and mark the calendar for October 6th. That's going to be our 10-year anniversary at the Churro Vineyards. It's going to be a pretty epic, it's going to be a weekend. Even though the festival is on a Sunday, we're going to be doing some other stuff around the Cape. So stay tuned. Yeah, I am really excited about this concert at the Atwood Museum. So originally it was going to be just my guitar player and I, but I'm actually going to be bringing my bass player along with us as well. So we'll be playing as a trio, playing a few new songs that I've been writing, but primarily songs off my Washashore Cowgirl and Sunshine is Free records. And then I invited my friend Tom Haggerty, who is just I like to call him a road dog. The guy travels a lot, and he plays music more than anybody I know. The minute he wakes up, he's got his guitar out. He's a phenomenal songwriter. And, I just wanted to introduce him to the Cape, because I feel like a lot of people will really enjoy his songwriting and his band. And, we're going to collaborate and do some songs, because that's what music's all about,
Tell me you want me. Act like you don't care. Keep on pretending we're getting somewhere. Been having some hard times. Gonna show you the door. Doing it my way, like I've done it before. Don't keep me up waiting. Drinking whiskey's at the bar. Telling the boy